Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Make It Yourself. Today we are going to learn this maple leaves stitch. You can use this stitch to make an afghan blanket, pot holders, or even coasters. So here I have made a small, you can say, a pot holder or a coaster. So let's get started. So we are going to first start off with the yellow yarn. So I'm using cotton yarn and a hook of 3.5 mm. More details will be available in the description part of this video. We're going to start off by making a slip knot, and then we are going to chain 27 using the orange yarn. So you can use any combination of colors. So here the first color I have selected is orange. So here I'm making a chain of 27, and after a chain of 27 we are going to chain two more extra chains, so that will give so here we have 27, and then I'm going to chain two extra, and that will give a total count of 29. So we are going to make a double crochet on the fourth chain from the hook. The chain of 3 that is left is considered as the first double crochet. So this is the second, and this is the third double crochet which we're making right now, and we're going to make another 2 more. So the total double crochets including the chain of 3 should be 5 double crochet, and after this 5 double crochet we will be making one small gap. So 1 2 3 4 5. So we're going to make a chain 1 gap. So to make the chain 1 gap, chain 1 and skip 1 chain, and into the next chain make 1 double crochet. So make 6 more double crochets into the next 6 chains, so that the total number of double crochet is 7 double crochets after the chain 1 gap. So here we are making the 7 double crochets, that is 1 double crochet in each chain, and once we are done with the 7 double crochets we will make another chain 1 gap. So as you can see we are done with 7 more double crochets. So here is a 7 double crochet, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So we're going to make another chain 1 gap. So for that, chain 1 and skip 1 stitch or 1 chain, and into the next make 7 continue making 7 more double crochets. So the first one, the second one, third one, fourth one, and this is the fifth one, and sixth one, and the seventh one. So after the seventh one again we are going to make a chain 1 gap. So here you can see we have already created 2 gaps. Now this is the third gap. We are planning to make 3 leaves, so we are having 3 gaps in this first row. So we are going to end with 5 double crochets. So 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet, and make the fourth and fifth one. So for this row number 1, what we did was we started off with 5 double crochet, made a chain 1 gap, then made 7 double crochets, made another chain 1 gap, then one more 7 double crochet and a chain 1 gap, and we ended with a 5 double crochet. So now we're going to chain 3 and turn our work. So this is row number 2. So in the row number 2 we will make 3 more gaps for the leaves. So first we already have the chain, so into the next stitch we're going to make one more double crochet. So chain 3 counts as our first double crochet, this is the second, and make the third double crochet. And after this we will make our gap, first chain 1 gap. So chain 1, skip 1 stitch, so skip this stitch and make 1 double crochet on top of this stitch. So here we will make 3 chain 1 gaps. So again chain 1 and skip the chain 1 below it and make a double crochet onto the next stitch. So this is the second gap, and then chain 1 and skip 1 more stitch and then make 1 double crochet. So this is the third gap. So you can see into our row 2 we have created 3 chain 1 space or 3 gaps. So next here we should make 3 double crochets in between. So this is a third double crochet, and after 3 double crochets we will again make the 3 gaps. So for the first gap, chain 1, skip 1 stitch and then make 1 double crochet into the next stitch. And for the second gap, chain 1, skip the stitch below it, which is chain 1 of the previous round, and make a double crochet, and chain 1 again, skip 1 stitch and make a double crochet here. So you can see for this second leaf we have made the 3 spaces as well. Now make 3 double crochets here. One we have already made, and this is the second one, and this is the third one. After this again we will make 3 more chain 1 gaps. So chain 1, skip 1 stitch, make a double crochet. The next gap is right on top of our previous gap, and make 1 double crochet, and then chain 1 and skip 1 stitch and make 1 more double crochet. So we are going to end with 3 double crochets. This is the first double crochet. So you can see we have 3 chain 1 gaps for the 3 leaves in our row number 2. So here first double crochet is done. The second double crochet will come on top of this stitch, and for our third double crochet we don't have a stitch, but we do have the chain 3, so under it we are going to make the third double crochet. So after we are done with 3 double crochets, our row 2 is complete, and we are going to chain 4 here. That is because chain 3 acts as a double crochet, and the last chain, that's the fourth chain, acts as a chain of 1, because we are going to create chain 1 spaces alternatingly. So skip 1 stitch and make a double crochet. So you can see that this is our first chain 1 space, because the chain 3 is the first double crochet and the fourth chain is a chain 1 space. So chain 1 again and skip this 1 stitch and make a double crochet. So for this row all we're going to do is chaining 1, skip 1 stitch and making a double crochet in the next stitch. So chain 1, skip 1 stitch and make a double crochet. So as you can see here, few of the chain 1 spaces are right on top of our previous row's chain 1 space, and the other chain 1 spaces can be on top of the double crochets also. So continue this pattern till the end of this row. Just make 1 double crochet, chain 1, skip the next stitch and make a double crochet. So here we are almost at the end of this row, and you can see the last double crochet will be on top of the chain 3 stitch at the end. So here, as you can see, we have chain 1 space alternatingly. So we have 1 double crochet and 1 chain 1 space. So at this point we are going to change the color of the yarn. So I'm going to take the next color and pull this yarn through this stitch this way, and I'm going to trim off the previous yarn and going to pull it tight, and I'm going to tie a knot between the tail yarns of these two, because I do not want the yarn to come off. Then I'm going to chain 3 with the new color yarn. So here I'm using a light pink kind of yarn. You can use any color, and then turn our work. So I have changed the color at this point because this is the row where I'm going to make the leaf. So make 2 double crochets, one in this gap and one on top of this double crochet. So total of 3 double crochet including the chain 3. Now we're going to chain 2, and after which we are going to make our leaf. So I'll show you the gaps into which we are going to make the leaves. So this is one gap, this is the first, second, third, fourth and fifth. Into these gaps we are going to make the parts of the leaf. So you can see a pyramid kind of structure here. So we are going to make our leaf into these gaps. So keep the yarn loose, and into the first gap insert your hook and pull through 3 times, and now again yarn over, and now insert your hook into the next gap, and here too you should pull the yarn through it 3 times by yarning over each time. So first time yarn over, this is the second time yarn over, and this is the third time, and this is the topmost part of the leaf, and here too we will be yarning over and pulling through 3 times. This is the second time yarn over, and this is the third time. So all this time you should make sure that the loops are still in the crochet hook. Now this is the fourth gap. Insert, yarn over, insert, yarn over, and insert and yarn over. Now this is the fifth one, which is right below the previous gap. So here too yarn over and pull through 3 times, and now you have all the loops available in your crochet hook. So pull through all the loops. So to do this you have to hold the yarn that you're pulling through the loops tightly, so that it does not get stuck into those existing loops, and you should also hold the all the loops also tightly with your thumb and your index. Then you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to chain 2 more, and then you're going to make a double crochet into the very next gap that is available after the third the fifth gap. So this is the first leaf structure. Now this part we are going to see, this is the second leaf space, and into this part we are going to make 3 double crochets. The first one will be into the very next, on top of the very next double crochet. This is one stitch. The second stitch will be in this chain 1 space, and the third stitch will be on top of the next double crochet, and then we're going to chain 2 and start making the next leaf. So here too, like the previous one, we are going to make use of the 5 gaps. This is the first gap, the second, third, fourth, and this is the fifth one. So we are going to yarn over and pull through each gap 3 times. Yarn over, pull, yarn over, pull, yarn over, and pull. So 3 times we have done this. Do this again into the second gap. So yarn over and pull through the gap. Make sure to leave the yarn, hold the yarn loose so that you're able to pull the loops to the height that is required. So every time, so for the last one you should be able to pull the yarn to the same height as the others. So this last loop will have a very long loop here. So hold the crochet hook this way so we have the length adjusted accordingly. Now into the fourth gap, make the leaf pattern here as well, and just below it, this fifth gap always gets hidden, but you have to make the last part of the leaf into the fifth gap. And after this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the tail yarn by twisting it around my finger so that I get I'm able to hold it tight and I'm able to pull it easily across all the loops. So I'm holding it tight and then pulling it through all the loops, few loops at a time. And because I'm holding it tight, I'm able to identify this yarn and it slides easily through all the loops. So chain 1 here and pull tight, and then chain 2 more, and this is our second leaf. And after this, again we're going to make 3 double crochets, and as usual the first will be on top of the very next double crochet, and followed by the second double crochet on the gap, that is the chain 1 space, and the third one on the third stitch. And now we're going to make the last leaf, and for this, these are the chain spaces where we are going to make our leaf. So repeat the same pattern, chain 2, and into the 5 gaps yarn over and pull through 3 times till the maple leaf pattern is formed. And after that we are going to finish off with 3 more double crochets. Okay, so here we are trying to finish the maple leaf pattern, and as you can see, sometimes it gets tricky to identify the gaps. So here the last one, as you can see, is hidden. You just have to find the last gap and yarn over and pull through 3 times as well, and now pull through all the loops at once. So wind the yarn over your index finger, that makes it easy to get a proper tension so that you're able to pull this yarn across all the loops in a easy manner. So pull through all the loops and pull through all the loops, and then chain 1 and close the leaf, and then chain 2 more, and now you should end this row with another 3 double crochets. So let me show you where to make the double crochets. So the first one will be on the very next on top of the very next double crochet. The second one will be under this chain 4, and the third one will be on the third chain from the hook. So first, second and third. So into the third chain, just insert your hook into the chain, into the back loop of the chain, and make the third double crochet. So here we have a double crochet of 3 in between the 3 maple leaves. So this is row number 4, and here we are actually done with one set of stitches which will be repeated again, but I want to show you the next few rows as well so that it gets easier for you. So this row again will be a repetition of row number 1, where we do 5 double crochet, chain 1, then 7 double crochet, then chain 1, then 7 double crochet again, followed by chain 1 and a 5 double crochet. So the 5 double crochet here is a bit tricky, so I'll show you where to do it. So chain 3, then into the next stitch 1 double crochet, into the next stitch another double crochet. So we have 3, we need 2 more. So into this chain 2 space we are going to make the last 2 double crochets to get a total of 5 double crochet. So we have our 5 double crochet. So as you can see in row number 1 also we started off with 5 double crochet, then we did chain 1 and skip 1 stitch. So chain 1, and here the skipping is the chain stitch right below it, and then make 2 double crochets in the next chain 2 space, and then in the middle 3 double crochets on top of it, make 3 more double crochets. So here we need a total of 7 double crochets. So we did 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space, then we are doing this 3 double crochets on top of the existing 3 double crochets, and the last 2 we will do in the chain 2 space again. So you will see we now have a total of 7 double crochets, which is same as row number 1. Then we are going to chain 1 again, and then again we are going to make a total of 7 double crochets. So 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space, 3 double crochets on top of the previous 3 double crochet, and 2 more double crochets in the chain 2 space. So repeat this till the end of this row, and we are going to end off with 5 double crochets. So at the end you can see the last double crochet is under the chain 3. So as you can see, these are the chain 1 spaces into which we will make our next leaf. So we're going to chain 3 and start the next row, which is a repetition of row number 2. So here we are going to make the 3 chain 1 gaps. So this is our first chain 1 gap, then this is the second chain 1 gap, and this is the third chain 1 gap. So this is a repetition of row number 2. I just wanted to show the steps to those of you who would like to have more details on the pattern. So after the 3 gaps we made 3 more double crochets, and then again we are making the 3 chain 1 gaps. So for 3 leaves we will have 3 sets of these chain 1 gaps. So between the gaps we will have this 3 double crochets. So this is the last leaf, and this is the first chain 1 gap, the second chain 1 gap, and this is the third chain 1 gap, and then we're going to end off with 3 double crochets, and the last double crochet will be under the chain of 3 of the previous row. So chain 3 and turn your sorry, this is chain 4, because we are going to make chain 1 gaps and 1 double crochet. So we will alternate this. So just make a chain of 1, skip the next stitch and make 1 double crochet, again chain 1, skip 1 stitch and make the next double crochet. So you will repeat this till the end of this row. So after this round of having the chain 1 gaps is generally when we do the color change. So after this pink color, I'm going to bring in the next color, which is green color yarn. You can use any of your preferred colors. So pull the yarn through the loop and trim off the previous yarn and tie a knot with the tail yarns, and after that make a chain of 3, which is the first double crochet of this row. Turn your work and make 2 more double crochets. So 1 double crochet under the chain 1 space and 1 double crochet on top of the previous double crochet. After that, chain 2 and into the 5 gaps we are going to make the leaf stitch. So this is a repetition of the same steps that we did previously. So repeat the same steps and make the leaf into the 5 chain 1 spaces. Identifying the chain 1 spaces might be a bit tricky, but once you get the hang of it, you will be able to do it very easily. So pull through all the loops and pull it tight and close it with a chain 1 and then chain 2 more and then make 3 double crochets. So here the pattern will be 3 double crochets. Make the leaf pattern and 3 double crochets and make another leaf. So repeat this till the end. So I've added few more rows and ended up by adding one more row of orange leaves, and I want to end the square with a row which is similar to our first row. So I'm just adding a repetition of row number 1 at the end, and I'm ending it with a orange color, and this can be used as a hot pad or a pot holder. So if you want to use it as a pot holder, you may need to layer it with one more you can stitch it on top of cloth, or you can have one more layer of simple single crochet or double crochet square, or you can use it also as a coaster. So at the end, you're going to chain 1 and trim this yarn. So here we have these tail yarns. So you can if you would like to stitch the tail yarns in using a needle, you can leave a longer tail yarn so that you can thread it into a needle and stitch them into the existing stitches and then trim it off. So here, because I didn't want to waste much yarn, so I have left shorter tail yarns. So I'm using a smaller crochet hook and just pulling the tail yarn through some of the existing stitches until I feel that the yarn is secure and hidden properly, and after that I am trimming it off. So similarly do it for the other tail yarns also. Just make sure that you are stitching in the tail yarn into the same color. So for a green tail yarn, stitch it in over the green stitches, and for a pink tail yarn, stitch them over the pink one. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Do subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon for notifications, and give me a thumbs up if you found this video useful. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day, guys.